Hey everyone, how's it going? Geek here, and today I have another awesome weekly update video for you guys. This past week has been awesome, with me adding in some much needed improvements to the Flash game and getting the game set up to launch Beta 2. It's been really cool to see the game come as far as it has, and I'm excited to break it down and talk about everything going on as I finally get ready to release the next beta. We also started another round of voice auditions this past week, something we'll be talking about in today's video as we break down what that means for characters we're auditioning for, since not all of them have actually appeared in the game yet. As always, you can check out the time codes in the video description if you want to jump around. Alright, let's get into it. Before we get started though, if you could, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe down below. Reverse Flash is onto me, and new subs and video likes help fuel my power field to keep him from getting to me. Starting off, before we get into anything else, let's talk about the thing everyone wants to hear about. Beta 2. More specifically, people have been asking why the delay on Beta 2. Well, it's for a couple reasons. First and foremost, I don't want to release a subpar game. I promise not just the community, but also myself that any project I work on has to have a clear and specific improvement as development moves forward. I don't feel like I had done that leading up to the release of Beta 2, so I postponed. Thanks Savitar I did too, because I ran into and fixed a lot of issues with the game that would have been present in Beta 2, and that would have ruined everyone's experience. Another reason was I probably planned a little too big for beta versions of the game. Beta 1 was just a couple mini games and some super speed, nothing major. For the second beta, I wanted to double the amount of playable game modes, add more playable characters, almost triple the size of Central City, add in other locations, and include part of the main story all in a couple months. That's a lot to do while working full-time and having a life outside of YouTube. The truth is, I got too ambitious, and the results were having to delay the beta because I didn't want to cut 90% of what I was working on just to make it easier to release. So I toughed it out, working on everything as much as I could to finally get the game ready for the release of Beta 2, and I can say that I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. There's a clear timeline now for development, and I can finally explain what's going on for the next few weeks to get Beta 2 ready for launch. The first thing being updated is the UI. This is something that really bothers me in games, when the UI is sloppy or uninteresting to look at. I'm not saying every aspect of every game needs to be goddamn award worthy, but I think the UI needs to be a little more inspired than what I had. So I'm working on overhauling everything, the main menus, pause menus, character and skin select menus, all being redone to be more cohesive and to look more appealing. The main menu especially is getting a major remodel, but more on that later. So this whole week, I've been working like crazy to design what I think is an interesting and stylish design for the UI of the game. The second thing being updated is the different game modes. Beta 1 was a lot of fun, but the game modes were far from perfect. Reverse Flash would stop moving if he got too far away from the player and would be easily catchable. The Meta Mystery game mode was too open-ended for people to really enjoy, and the Trickster game mode was extremely difficult, though that one was on purpose, heh. The point is though, I really wanted to rework a lot of the mechanics in each game mode to make them function better and to improve people's overall experience with the game. So this coming week, I'm focusing entirely on finishing all my fixes for the 3 game modes and making sure that the new game modes all function as intended. I figured dedicating a whole week to working solely on the different game modes and nothing else will help knock them out pretty quickly. The third and final thing I wanted to work on was the different playable areas in the game. Look, there are 2 things that I love in a game. Lots of cosmetics to play with, and tons of areas to explore. I don't care how crap a game plays, how boring or uninteresting the graphics and level design are, or how grindy or slow the gameplay is. If I get tons of cosmetics to equip and play with, or a huge open world to explore, I'm happy. So obviously adding in other locations aside from Central City is a huge priority for me. So for the week following the game mode fixes, I'll be working exclusively on finishing the other playable areas in Beta 2. Central City is mostly done, just have to keep working on repositioning the houses. After that, I need to make it so the player can access the Speed Force, Gotham City, and a few other areas I'll be keeping secret for players to find themselves later. The point is though, I need to focus and make sure these areas get finished so I can include them in Beta 2 like I've been planning this whole time. So that's all I have left to do before I release Beta 2. Again, I'm sorry about the major delays, but I didn't want to just drop something for the hell of it and have people hate it. I want this to be an enjoyable experience for the community, and if I'm not proud of the current state of the game or it's completely unfinished, it wouldn't make any sense to release it. That's how you get games like Anthem, or Battlefield 2042, or Star Wars Battlefront, or... these are all EA games. I wonder why. Moving forward, let's talk about some stuff I've been working on adding into the Flash game. As I mentioned a second ago, the UI has been getting a complete overhaul in terms of its appearance, but like I said previously, the main menu is getting the biggest remodel of all. If you remember in Beta 1, the main menu was just a couple of buttons on the left-hand side of the screen with a short video playing in a loop behind it. It was a neat little menu, but I thought I could do better. I really liked the main menu I had created in my other game project I'm working on, the superhero project, and decided to incorporate that design into the Flash game. It's a cool setup with the camera panning to different parts of a small environment as you click through menus. Feels very interactive, and I thought it'd be a great fit. All I needed was the perfect environment to have the camera move through for the background. Well, I really couldn't think of any better place that would fit than Star Labs Cortex. So that's what I've been working on the past 2 days, working to finalize the interior of Star Labs, well, that one room at least, so I can use it in the background of the main menu. The camera will start focusing on the suit sitting on its mannequin in the front of the room before moving back to the main computer monitors on the 3-person desk in the back of the Cortex. From there, the camera will pan to several different monitors as the player accesses different menus before starting the game itself. It's honestly going to look really cool, I think, and I'm excited to finish it in the next couple of days. Plus, working on this means players get to start running around Star Labs soon, so that's also really exciting. Speaking of exciting, we're doing another round of voice auditions. This time, we're looking for a Cisco, a Jay Garrick, and a Wally. I don't know why Jay Garrick was the only one that I pronounced the last name for. Obviously, Wally has been shown in-game, but what about Cisco and Jay? Well, Cisco obviously has a huge part in the CW Flash series, even when he isn't visible on screen. As the main coordinator for Team Flash for a good portion of the show, Cisco speaks directly to Barry through his suit during a majority of his outings as the Flash. So despite Cisco not showing up himself in-game yet, his voice will still be necessary to speak to the player and guide them through story missions and side quests. He's essentially the game's part-time narrator. As for Jay, well, obviously characters are being added to the playable roster all the time, and eventually Jay Garrick will need a voice actor to bring the character to life for various story missions and cutscenes. Plus, I have a mini-game idea that I need a Jay Garrick for, so it's good we're finding one now. That character needs more love than he gets, really. But yeah, definitely head over to the Discord channel, link in the description below, and submit an audition for one of the characters, or all three if you haven't already. We want to get as many people involved as possible so we have a deep bench to choose from when it comes time to judging. Okay, before we wrap up the video, I have an announcement. I was messaging with Billionaire literally around the time of recording this video, and with the recent growth of the Discord community, we agreed it was time for another developer challenge. Woo! Same rules apply as before. Everyone gets 3 weeks to develop a game based on the theme of the challenge. Submit your game through Discord and the mod team will go through a round of judging to determine a series of winners. The prize, like last time, will be a Steam gift card. Very fun. The theme for this challenge is Dungeon Crawler. Games where the player traverses a cool labyrinth and battles monsters to collect loot. It's fun, exciting, and a chance for people to really flex their creativity. I can't wait to see what types of settings people come up with for this challenge, what types of heroes, monsters. It's gonna be really cool. Have fun, everyone who's participating, and good luck in the competition. Well, that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed watching, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe down below. Also be sure to join us over on Discord if you haven't already. You'll get notifications when a new video drops, when there's important updates for the Flash game, or when new rounds of voice auditions are going on. Also be sure to follow Game Geek Studios over on TikTok. You'll be kept up to date on everything related to the Flash game, and it's constantly being updated with new content, so you don't want to miss out. Also, if you could, consider subscribing to Gamer Geek Studios on Patreon. It helps support the channel, you'll get videos early, and you can even become an NPC in the Flash game. Thanks everyone, and I'll see you all in the next one.